Food for thought. I, as of recently, have been on a path to setting boundaries. Now, setting boundaries has been the hardest thing that I've ever had to do because it's uncomfortable. You know, when you're like used to being available for people, people need you for something, you make yourself uncomfortable, you're tired, you do it anyway. People ask you for things that you really don't have. You still provide them with those resources, even though you don't have it. You spend time with people that you really don't want to be around. But for the sake of always being a yes person, you put yourself in circumstances where sometimes you allow yourself to be frustrated. I'm working on this whole process of getting comfortable with telling people no, because I think that's not one of my many strong suits. I'm used to being a people pleaser. That's where I am. I'm always used to wanting to go above and beyond just helping people. And it's honestly, I think it's something that's more a genetic thing for me because my mom is a total giver. She's an empath. She's a wonderful, beautiful woman. And she just loves to help people, and I get that. And I got a lot of that from her, and I'm grateful for it. But then on the other end of it, I have my dad. And my dad is the angry, strong, spiritual, for grounding type of person, okay? But in my own personal life experiences, I've noticed with myself is that I'm always being put in places where I'm helping people, and sometimes I'm not getting that same energy back, and they may do something or they may say something which has nothing to do with what I provided them with, but it's just their natural behaviors. I place myself in a space where I allow certain things to happen. I allow a certain dialogue. And when it makes me uncomfortable, I don't like how that person makes me feel, I try to establish a boundary. Okay. Sometimes setting the boundary is empowering. I feel like, okay, I'm strong, I'm doing this. And then other times I feel guilty. Okay. So that is something that I'm working on. I'm just allowing myself to be comfortable. Recently I lost a really, really good friend of mine. Really, really good friend of mine. Like, I'm in a space right now where it's only been about 2 weeks. Trust me, it feels like longer. It doesn't feel like yesterday because it's not yesterday. And me and this person were really, really good friends. Really. He was definitely someone that, I love genuinely. He was a part of my soul tribe. You have people that you meet that you're like, yeah, we don't click, right? But then you have people that you do meet that, no matter how long you haven't spoken to them, it's like picking up where you left off yesterday. And I'm still a little bit shaky behind it, only because when me and this person stopped, talking, I don't even want to say stop talking because I never ended our friendship. Okay. But, this person, because we're so close and because I'm a female and he's a male, and there's always going to be that attachment. So I don't think that men and women can be friends, okay? And that was a prime example of that, even in my relationships that I have, because when we did meet, it was something like we were wanted to get to know each other. And because of my, other things that I had going on at the time, me being, an Israelite, which I am still a believer, but I was really, really involved, and for me, I wanted to be with someone that was, also an Israelite and also understood the commandments and all of that other good stuff, which I can talk about later, right? And although this person may have tried, I felt like we were not compatible when it came to that. I feel like I was just more in a space like, listen, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, and I won't settle for that, right? Because I don't want to go to hell or whatever, right? So I didn't pursue a relationship with this person, but we remained good friends. So no matter what I had going on, at the time, I was in a relationship with someone that was, a part of my belief system at the time. And, just like all relationships, you have good days, you have bad days. We had more bad than good. We had more time apart than together. That's another story. But, like this was the person that I would talk to not every day and not every other day. But, we did check-ins, and we would talk about things, and I would say how I feel, and it'll always come back to, hey, Chris, if, and I'm like, bro, you already know. And then at times it was like, I don't want to say it was cute, but it showed consistency that like, yo, you really care about me. There was times that I was in like situations and I was just like, I can't take this no more. And I would like, come and get me. Like, I'm in a situation, please come and get me. And this person would show up for me. And then we'll talk months later. And somewhere down the line, it would always be like, hey, Chris, I love you. And it gets all mushy, and I'm like, okay, I love you too, bro. You got to add the bro on there, right? And one time we got into it, and he just went off like, I don't even know why you did with that, and he just went into a whole nother space, and it was really about him, like I could be with you, and I'm like, listen, don't do that. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't hate on that man like that. Because if you and me were together and you had the opportunity and someone else was doing that to you, to your woman, you wouldn't like it. So don't do it. And I already felt bad that I was sharing a part of myself or my emotions with someone else. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, don't do that. So he's like, I don't want to talk to you no more. And he just went off on me. And I was like, okay. And I felt bad. And then, he apologized to me. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm like, it's all right. And then we had another talk, like he was going through something and his own issues. And I'm like, yo, I always got your back. Like when it comes to that, I'm always there. Like, tell me where we got to go. I'm there. And, he just like shut down. It was like, send me this text like, you know what, I think we don't need to be friends anymore. Like we was on the phone for like 4 hours. He said, I really think we don't need to be friends anymore because I'm never gonna get a chance to hold you and be with you the way that I want to be with you. So you know what, I don't even think we should be friends. I think we should just leave it alone, and I wish you well, and all that, dear John, So I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, so what are you saying? Like, you don't want to talk to me anymore? Like, I was really like, because I'm like, we were just on the phone for like 4 hours. So I didn't really, we were together on the phone for like 4 hours. So I'm like, where did all of this come from? And I was hurt. So I sent him, called him. He blocked me. My call was going straight to voicemail. I'm like, you cannot be serious. That's how you doing me? And I said, it didn't make sense to text because if you block me, you're not going to get my text. So I said, you know what? I'm sent him a real message. That was a nasty message, probably was. But I was just basically telling how I felt. Like, that was messed up. Like, why would you do that to somebody? Like, why would you, like, if it was you, you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. You keep disrespecting me And not only me, like, how do you perceive me to be if you're always just trying to cross those boundaries, although we're not in the same space? I feel like I would have been, came to see you where you were at, but I'm like, I'm not going to be nowhere there with you in the next minute. I'm tied up somewhere in your basement because you just like, no, she's here, she's not, she's mine, I'm keeping her. Like, you don't know people's mental state. And I don't think that would have been the case, but I don't want to be in a situation where I am a grown-ass woman being subjected to sexual abuse. And that's my friend. And I'm not afraid to say it. Because, you know, people think because you're the age that you are, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, that you can't be subjected to sexual abuse. You really can. Okay? So anybody that thinks, oh, I'm too old for that, like, don't sleep on it. You don't sleep on it, because it's not, sexual abuse is not you. Sexual abuse is that person and their hormones and how they feel in that moment. Okay, so we weren't talking. So I was just like, what can I do? You know, all I can do is hope and pray for you. Then I received a text maybe like 3 months ago, like, yo, I know I'm the last person you want to talk to, just checking on you, I hope everything is okay. And instead of me looking and saying, you know what, let me respond, I could have said okay, I could have been like, all right. I didn't say anything. And honestly, I was really going through so much at that time, like, really. And I don't want to say I'm still going through things, but like, there were things that I'm just, you know, happened, and I'm still just there, you know, dealing with whatever issue that is, that I will discuss in a later time, Lord willing. And I was online and I was looking around, and I got noticed that this person transitioned. And it's one of the most hardest things you ever have to go through, you know, because I felt at that space, one, I felt like I was trying to set boundaries, you know, and I also felt like, you know, like, I love you so much because you've always been there for me when I needed you, and I would show up for you however way I could in those moments. And you pushed me away, and me just, I don't want to say it was being stubborn, and I say it was a boundary, because I'm like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. How many times am I going to allow a person to keep doing that to me? How many times am I going to allow a person to continue to hurt my feelings or make me feel away? Like, I don't deserve that. And I just was like, no, you know what? We can't be friends. I will not allow that. And in that moment, I feel like, if you're going to apologize, don't text me. Apologize. Like, if you had the energy to sit there and give off whatever, I mean, when you text me those words, yes. But, like, you could have called me, like, text me, hey, can you talk? Or you could have said anything. And I guess that was your way, but because of me being in the moment and trying to work on just setting boundaries, I feel like I dropped the ball because my friend is gone. And I can never hear my friend's voice again. And I didn't even go to the funeral. No fault of my own. And I'm here now telling this story. So I think at this point in my existence, I think it's more about sharing. Because I have this thing that, you know, when you're young and you're growing up, everyone wants to tell you how to be, right? Well, when you reach a certain age, it's just like people have an expectation of you. They have an expectation of you to already know what is going on, or, they don't really care to really provide you with answers. You know what I mean? It's just like, I guess, whatever you find out on your own or whatever, who cares? It's just like a space and time that just like people just really don't even acknowledge that space of like being in your 40s. And I mean, I've been 40 for 3 years, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I know 40's like, when I turned 40, it was like a whole nother expectation for me. I felt like I needed to be a certain way. I need to, I am who I am, right? Of course, I'm in a space where I'm trying to work more on myself. And this is why I'm in this space. Like, you get on social media. I'm not a social media girl. I've never been a social media girl. Like, barely. I post a picture every now and then. But even with that, we like to show the vacations and the beautiful clothes and the hair done. And like, yeah, I could do that, right? But I don't feel that benefits anybody. Living in my truth, I feel, and showing my truth and sharing in my truth, I feel like that is what in some way is gonna like help us all, because a lot of people have never been like this. 40 is gonna go like from 40 to 50 is gonna go like boom. When you're a teenager, you can't wait to be an adult. Now you're an adult. Now you're living your life. Everybody has expectations. Everybody's telling you what to do. You're figuring it out. You're in it. You're hearing this. You're doing that. But when you're like 40, it's like everything stops. It's like you just get up and you just go. You're on autopilot. There's no explanations for you. There's no explanations, and I don't believe in going downhill unless you push me. And even when you push me downhill, trust me, I'm holding on to something, because as long as God is in control of my life and in my being in my vessel, and it's His will, I will be standing. So I say that to say, like, this is definitely a new process for me. I'm not here to be all dolled up and be like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to be in my truth. This is my truth, and I'm here to hopefully help somebody that, wants to be helped, because this is a transfer of information. This is something that maybe what I'm going through, someone else is going through it. If not, maybe it's someone that can chime in and say, hey, it gets better. You can do better. Hey, let me show you what you can do, because I'm all ears, and vice versa. You know what I mean? I feel like we need preparation. And even if there's people that are younger than the age of 40, like, prepare yourself for this moment, because once you turn 40, it's like, 50 is like people that are in their golden years. They're like, yo, I'm 50 years old. Like, they, and I want to look forward to life now. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I know God is good. I know God is merciful. And I just wanted to share that brief story. Is honestly, it's definitely a lot more intricate and detailed than what I'm really saying it to be. But this is just a moment of clarity for me. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I do hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope everyone, gets home safely. If no one has told you today, I love you. And I wish you well, and I wish you all the best. And wish me well, and wish me the best. And let's just, start a dialogue, because I think we all need to support one another. Like, your story is a story that can be shared. Like, you did not go through whatever things you went in life to just sit there and just make it seem like life was easy, because that's just basically what everyone is in this space. Like, okay, well, yeah, you don't know my story. I struggled to get here, but like, okay, you did struggle to get here, but like, it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable, So Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, I love you, and Lord willing, I will speak to you soon.